Hello, my fourth grade friends. Today we are doing Unit 3, Lesson 8, which starts on page 121 of your math book. So go ahead and get that out. If you'd like your whiteboard, you know, it doesn't hurt to have it, and a pencil, and then we'll get started. In today's lesson, we are talking about how we can use estimation and the math facts that you have memorized to sort of quickly get an idea of like a close to where the answer, should be, like, so you're not super far off. We're going to do the numbers not exactly in order because I'm going to do it like vertically, so just be prepared for that. So here it says check quotients with rounding and estimation. So yeah, you can use it to sort of figure out ahead of time or to sort of check and just verify that you're on the right track. Rounding and estimation can be used to check answers. Review your rounding skills and then apply what you know to division problems. So use rounding and estimation to decide whether each quotient makes sense. So this is basically saying 3 times 18 plus 2 more is 56. So we should ask ourselves, okay, what's 3 times 18? 3 times 10 is 30, and 3 times 8 is 24. 30 and 24 is 54, and then you add 2 to it. Yeah, that's 56, so yes. Then we'll see, okay, what's 5 times 92 plus 3? Is that like 463? Well, we'll do 5 times 90, so 5 times 9 is 45, times 10, 450, and then 5 times 12, or 5 times 2 is 10, so 450 plus 10, 460 plus 3 more. Yeah, that makes sense too. Okay, 6 times 928. So let's do 6 times 9. That's 554. So 6 times 900 is 500. No, 6 times 900 is not 540. It's 5,400. Then 6 times 20. 6 times 2 is 12, so 120. So 5,400 plus 120. Yeah, that's pretty close. That's like, I think that looks right. And then 7 times 129 remainder 4 should be 907. So 7 times 7 times 100, 700. 7 times 20, that's 140, and then 7 times 9 is 63, so add that all up and you're going to get 903, remainder 4, you add the 4. Yeah, that's right. So we didn't have to go through all the steps, we just sort of like verified each thing along the way. Does that make sense? All right, so I'm going to start by going down this column, and you'll do that with me, and then if you're feeling up to it, I want you to try this column on your own and correct it with me. Same thing for this one, okay? Because the reason we're doing it this way is because if I were to do the top row, then it gets more complicated each row, right, with more place value. So I'll go this way, all right? So solve using any method, then check your answers by rounding and estimating. And like I said, it's nice to have your whiteboard so you always have space, especially around these ones. There's like not enough space to subtract fully. So I'll probably be using my whiteboard for that. Move my tea out of the way. Okay, water out of the way. Okay, so when I see 3 times what is close to 29, I can do 3 times 10, that's over, that's 30. So 3 times 9 is 27, and then there's 2 more, right? So that's 3 times 9, 27, 2, remainder 2. Same thing over here. Okay, 6 times what is close to but not over 34. Well, 6 times 6 is 36. That's too high. 6 times 5 is 30. And then the remainder is 4, right? Subtract, then you get 4. Oops, I was going to go down. There's a freebie for you. I'm going to go down now. Sorry. Okay, 3 times 3 times what is 72? So I know it's going to be bigger than 20, right? Because that'll be 60. But smaller than 30 because that'll be 90. So like kind of around 25-ish because it's almost halfway in between. So let's do 2 here, and that gets 6. Oh, and then we have 1, 2, and then it's 12. 24. And I was saying around 25, and that's pretty close. One thing that's helpful for this is making sure you're having your place value in the right spot, right? So it's not 240, it's not 2.4, it's 24. All right, down. I almost went over again. Down. Okay, so it's not even 100. It's a little bit less, and 62 tens is almost 63 tens, which means it's almost 9. So I'm gonna say 8, and then like super close to maybe like 87 or something. So then we'll do 56, subtract 68, and then 7 times 9, that's where the 63 comes through. 3, and then you have 5, so remainder 5. Now you can see I'm already kind of running out of room, so I'm going to also use my whiteboard for the rest of these. So it's not a super different strategy than what we've been doing before, but it's just like going into it with a game plan. And you're checking your answer like, okay, it should be a little bit less than 90, right? Yeah. Okay, let's do this next one. 805 is the dividend. 7 is the divisor. What's our quotient? Okay, so it's got to be at least 100. And then what's, maybe like 100, more than 110, right? Because 110 would be 770. So maybe like 100 and then get another 30 in there. So like 115. Let's see. Okay. So 1, 7. 1. Ooh, I'm looking close, huh? Ooh, I got it right. Just by sort of thinking about it, like 7 times 1 would be 700, and then I'd have like 30, or I'd have 105 left, and that would be 15. So cool. So 115. No remainder on that one. All right, next one. Erase. Here we go. 6 over here, and then 1, 7, 2, 3. Okay. So a little bit less than 300, so like 200, which would give us like 500-ish left. So like, I'm gonna say like 29 something, almost around there. So let's do it. Not 29, like 290-ish. That's what I'm thinking. 6 times 2 is 12. 52. Not quite 54, so it's got to be 8, right? 48. 43. And then, because we're bringing that 3 down, bringing that 2 down there. So that'll be 6 times 7, or 42, with a remainder of 1. So 287, remainder 1 on that one. All right. Here we go. 4,652 divided by 6. So that's going to be like 700 something. So that's going to leave 455. So 45. So 790 something. Wait. No, that'll be 4. No, I'm thinking 5 times 9. That'll be 770 something. So 742, 4, bring down that 5, right? And then again a 7. Yeah, if you don't have the right math fact, it's not going to help you. 2, and then we get a 3 there. 6 times 5 is 30. And then you have 2 left over. Remainder 2. 775, remainder 2. All right, I've given you this freebie here. Oops, it was a little bit cut off. I would love for you to try this column on your own. I'm going to work it all out in a minute, but I want you to give it a shot because that's how you can see if you're really understanding or at which point you're having a hard time. It's really good for your brain to be brave in that way. Okay. I'm going to go for it now. You ready? Okay, so 6 times 10 is 60. So 6 times, then we'd have 23 left over. So that's almost 4. So like 6 times 3 is 18. And then there's going to be a remainder. So let's go ahead and do that. So 6 times 10, 60, 2 left over, 3. And then 6 times 3, get this 18, and then we have 5 left over, remainder 5, almost 24, but not quite. Oh man, I can't believe how closely they put these together. All right, 683. But it's nice that they included these math boards, you know? Okay, so you can't have a whole 100. 68, let's see. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 8 is 64. So it'll be 80 something, 43. 85, remainder 3. Let's see. 6 times 8, 64 minus 4. 3, 5, 40. And then 3. Yeah. So just going to write that off to the side. 85, remainder 3. Not space. All right. Now I'm assuming that you tried all these before me, right? So if you haven't, go ahead, give it a shot. Be brave. You can do it. 869. That's the power of online lesson, right? You can pause me whenever you like. So at least 100, and then maybe like 108, I think would be the thing to do here, right? So let's do 1, 8, 0, 6, 0, 0, not a 6, 69. Oh, oops, woohoo, 8, 64, and the 5 remains, remainder 5. 108, remainder 5. All right, here we go. Almost used my regular marker on my whiteboard. Can't do that. 2,986. All right, at least 1,000, right? But it's almost a whole other 1,000. So it's like 2,400, like 18, like 90 something. 2,490 something, I think. I would think it's 2,000 or 200. No, 1,000. Because it's 1. There's already 2,000 there. 1,493. That's what it's going to be. So 1, 0. Bring down the 9. Goes in 4 times. You get 8. There's that 18. That's how you get that 9. minus 18, 0. Bring down that 6, 3. Oh my gosh. Good job, everybody. 1,493. All right. Here we go. 5,400. Copy the number right, Mrs. Smith. 235. All right, so we're gonna get 2 here to get 4. Bring down that, get 6 here to get 12, and then 1, and then 7, remainder 1 or something like that. Okay, let's see. 2, 4, 1, 6, 3 goes down to 1. Minus just a 2, and you get 1 left over. Wish it was 16, but it's 15. So then it's 7 to get us 14, and then 1 is the remainder. So 2,617, remainder 1. Okay. I want you to try this last column on your own, and then we're going to correct it. Hit pause now and hit play when you're ready to correct. You ready? Here we go. Number 7, it's 8 remainder 3. Number 10, it's 12 remainder 4. Number 13, it's 79 remainder 6. Number 16, 101 remainder 5. Number 19, 1,224 remainder 6. And then number 22, 1,044 remainder 2. Hopefully you got all those right. If you missed more than like one, you should think about why you missed it. If you don't know why you missed it, make sure you're asking your teacher for help. Help you find that little tricky pickle that caught you up. All right, now we're going to talk about whether it's appropriate in a real life situation to use an estimate or to have an exact answer. And we'll think about why, okay? Because you don't want to be estimating when you should need an exact answer. Like if you're trying to figure out, you know, a certain amount of medicine that is needed for somebody or something like that, right? Okay, it says estimate or exact answer. Some problems require an exact answer. Others require an estimate only. If a problem asks for an exact answer, then you'll have to do the calculation. Here's an example of that. The school cafeteria prepares 3,210 lunches each week. The same number of lunches are prepared 5 days each week. How many lunches are prepared each day? Discuss why you think this problem requires an exact answer. What do you think? If someone just like gets pretty close, what is the consequence of that? There's going to be some days when kids have, like, there's too many lunches available, and some days when some kids are not going to have any lunch. That's not okay, right? We want to make sure all our kids aren't hungry at school. So that is an example of needing an exact answer. Estimate 1. If a problem asks for a close answer, use about, approximately, and uses about, approximately, almost, or nearly, then you can estimate. So these are the key words you're looking for that give you permission to just get an estimate, okay? And then your answer should also include that word so everyone knows you're not giving an exact number, you're giving an estimation. So, it's this example. Milo has a 229-page book. He has 8 days to finish it. About how many pages should he read each day? Now, what's the consequence if one day he reads like slightly too many pages? Then the next day he just doesn't have as many pages to read. Is that like a problem for anyone in their life? Not really. It's not like a big consequence. It's pretty like fine. So for this scenario, and because it uses the word about, it is appropriate to just give an estimate as long as your answer also includes the word about. Okay? All right. So, it says decide whether you need an exact answer or an estimate, then find the answer. Number 23. Sam bought a board that was 72 inches long to make bookshelves. He wants to cut the board into 3 equal pieces and use each one for a shelf. How long will each shelf be? So I want you to imagine a bookshelf, like a classic one, not like a modern art one, just a classic one. There's the sides and then there's the shelves, and the shelves connect to the sides. So if one of them is like a little bit too long and the other one is too short, is that going to work as a bookshelf, or are the shelves going to collapse and all the books are going to fall on the floor? Yeah, basically. So we need to have a calculation for this one. So we're going to do, here, I'll use my whiteboard for this because once again, there's not a lot of space. 72 divided by 3. So 3 goes into 7 2 times and you get 6. And then 4. So 24 inches long each. That way you have a functioning bookshelf. So 12, oopsie, not 12, 24 inches. Okay, next one. While I erase, I'll read it. Carl's mother baked 62 mini muffins for his class. There are 18 people in Carl's class, including the teacher. How many mini muffins should each person get? Now, I don't see any abouts or whatever, and I know when I was in school, if like some kids got 2 cupcakes and other kids didn't, it was a mess, right? People are like, why did you get 2 cupcakes? So let's go for the exact answer on this one, and then maybe she should leave the rest of them in like the teacher's lounge, or, you know, save them at home or bring them to the retirement center or something. Okay, so 62 and then divided by 18. So 18 once is 18. 18 twice is 36. 18, let's do 18 3 times. 4, 24, 54. So that's going to be 3 times. You get 54. And then subtract, and then you have this difference of 8. The 3 remainder 8. So really, she should give every kid 3, and then she should, you know, have her family enjoy the 8, because then you won't have like a fight in the middle of your class. Okay, so about 3 muffins. Okay. Next one, number 25. Give this one a try if you're feeling up for it. Each 24-inch shelf can hold about 10 books. About, that's one of our hint words, right? So for this one, I'm going to say each kid gets about 3 muffins, and then we'll put in here 8 left over. And then we'll take about away. So 3 muffins, and then there are 8 left over. Okay, so each 24-inch shelf can hold about 10 books. Approximately how many inches wide is each book? So this is an approximately, and I guess that makes sense because some books are probably thicker than other books. So 10, 24, 10 times 2 is 20. 4, remainder 4. So we'll say approximately 2 inches wide. You're wondering, how do I spell approximately? It's right there. You just copy it. Approximately 2 inches. All right. Malcolm wants to buy 3 concert tickets. Each ticket costs $45. How much money will he need? Ooh, this is a little bit backwards, isn't it? 45 times 3. not division, because each ticket costs $45. He needs money for all 3 of them. An estimate would only be helpful if he had higher than what he needs. So I think he needs the exact number, and then he can, you know, cushion it a little bit if there's like tax or something. So 15, and then 3 times 40 is 120. So he needs at least $135. So I'm going to say at least $135. $135. Sometimes when you go to concerts, they have fees, stuff like that. Okay, you guys, we did it. Good job. Make sure you're practicing your math facts, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.